Okay, hi, good morning everyone. Now today's tutorial will discuss about the quadratic equation. The chapter is quadratic equations, but we will not be getting straightforward quadratic equations. Today's tutorial will be the type of questions where you'll have equations that will be given to you. It won't be a straightforward quadratic equation, but those equations, what we can do is we can either reduce or we can say we can convert them to quadratic equations. So it is not going to be a ready-made quadratic equation. We will have to convert it into a quadratic form. And the type that we'll be discussing is the form in which the equations will be given is like this form. So it'll be like a x to the power of 2n plus b x to the power of n plus c is equal to 0. The question will be in this form. So if the question is in this form, then how do we go and solve questions? Or sometimes the question may not be directly in this form. It may be a little bit slightly different, you can say. And then what we can do is we can convert those equations also into this form. And the moment we get the equation in this form, then we can go ahead and solve it. And how do we solve a question which we have in this form, or which we can convert it in this form, is this way. So once I get it in this form, so all you have to do is you just have to go ahead and separate this. Okay, but before we get it in this form, so what form is this? Is in this form you always check the first or the highest power. If you look at this power, the power of x, and if you look at this power of x, the first one is always the double of this one. So it always has to be, this one always has to be the double of this one. Only when this one is the double, or you can say this is the half of this one, then I can proceed forward. Till the time I do not get my equations in this form, then I will not be able to apply whatever we are about to show you. Okay, so you have to make sure that this is exactly a double of this one. Okay, and then once I'll give you a few examples also, but once we get in this form, then all we have to do is to solve it. You just have to go ahead and write this x, and then just separate the n and the 2. So you can just write xn. So we are trying to make this and the same, and then we write the square outside it. So because it's 2 into n is still 2n, so we're just trying to write this in a little bit different format. So we are writing xn and then to the power of 2 plus b, and this as it is. The only change we make is over here, and then plus c is equal to 0. Now why are we writing in this form is that we want to make this value and this value inside the bracket to be exactly the same. And once I have them in the same form, then all we have to do is we just have to make let whatever is this one, okay, this one or this one, whatever you say. So but just always try and know that whatever we get this, let that be equals to y. And once I get this to be as y, then I can write this as a, and this is what, y square plus by plus c is equals to 0. And then this is the general form of quadratic equation, remember. So because over here is y, so don't get confused. The y, you're normal in class 10 and all, we used to write the normal quadratic equation as ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That is what we used to write. And if you just match these two, they are exactly the same. It's just that this is an x, this is a y. So all you have to do is whatever equation has been given, you just have to try and bring it in this form. And how do I know it's in this form? You keep on solving till the time you do not get the first power of x to be double of the second one. So whatever is this one, this has to be double. And once I get this in this form, then one extra step you all have to do is take the square outside, and whatever is inside, leave it over there, and so that this and this matches. And once it matches, you assume that to be as equal to y, and then you get a general equation of quadratic. Okay, so just a few example. Let's say for example, you may have, okay, I'm just giving you a ready-made, so like this one only, I'm giving you this straight over. So what you can do is you can make it in this form. So let's example is, so you may get like 5x to the power of 4 plus 12x squared plus 4 is equal to 0. Now if you look carefully, this power 2 and then this one. So this 4 is double of this one, so that means this is definitely in this form. So once it's in that form, so what you can do is you just have to make sure that I said you write this as what, you write the square outside, and then 2 is a 4, and then plus 12x squared plus 4 is equal to 0, and then you say let x squared be equals to y, then you write 5y squared plus 12y plus 4 is equal to 0, and then you just solve it. Okay, so if you want more examples, you'll have this. Okay, later on you try the rest for yourself, but if you want, you can have like this also. You have 3x to the power of 8, let's say, minus 2x to the power of 4 minus 8 is equal to 0. So you have 8 and 4, so this 8 is double of this, so I can write it as 3x, and I can write 4 2 minus 2x4 minus 8 is equal to 0, and then let x to the power of 4 is equals to y, and then I get 3y squared minus 2y minus 8 equal to 0. So, and then it keeps on going like that. But every time I said you may not get a direct question like this. Sometimes you may have certain questions where you may have to do 1 or 2 extra steps, like maybe find the LCM, maybe cross multiply, and then after maybe 2-3 steps you may reach here. And once you reach here, this is the extra step that you have to do, and then make that assumption and then carry on with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about a few questions now. So let's talk about this question. Okay, so let's say I have this given to me, and if they say solve it. Okay, so there is no square, and also over here right now what happens is it does not look like a normal quadratic equation, so I just have to make it in a normal quadratic form. So what I do over here is I see 1 by 3 over here. So right now what I'm supposed to do, it looks like double, but what I do is I just have to do x, and this is 1 by 3. If I write 1 by 3 inside, and if I write the 2, it's the same thing, because 1 by 3 into 2, because if you do 1 by 3 into 2, we get 2 ones at 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 can be written as 1 by 3 into 2. And why am I writing it 1 by 3 into 2 is because here I have x 1 by 3, so I have to try and make sure that this bracket and this matches. So what I can do now over here is I can write this as x 1 by 3 minus 2 is equals to 0. Is that okay? And then once I get it in this form, okay, so now if you look at this one and this one, isn't this double? So it is double, so we can say let x 1 by 3 is equals to y. Okay, and then what I can write it is I can write this is y squared plus y minus 2 is equal to 0, and then once I have this I can just do a normal middle term factorization. So what do I get then? Y squared, we get a plus 2y minus 1y minus 2 is equal to 0, and then we can take y common, y plus 2, and we have minus 1, y plus 2 is equal to 0, so we get y plus 2, y minus 1 is equal to 0. So what do I get? I get either y plus 2 is equal to 0 or y minus 1 is equals to minus 1 is equals to 0. So then we get y is equals to minus 2 or y is equals to 1. So we get two answers. But what have we taken y to be as? X to the power 1 by 3 is equals to y. So we have to get the answer in terms of x. So y means x 1 by 3 is equals to minus 2. So now it's 1 by 3. So if I want to find x, we'll have to do cubing both sides. So when I do cubing both sides, I get x 1 by 3 cubed is equals to minus 2 cubed. So they get cancelled, so x is equals to minus 8. So one answer is minus 8. Or over here we also again have 1 by 3 is equal to 1. So here also I do cubing both sides. Then what do I get? X 1 by 3 is equal to 1 cube, so I get x is equals to 1. So the solution for this particular thing is, so if I want to solve this, so first I just go ahead and make it in the general form. The general form I already told you is this. We have to make it in this form: x to the power of 2n plus b, x to the power of n plus c is equal to 0, and I have made it in that form. So once I get it in that form, so whatever is along with your b, that x to the power of that, we assume it to be as equal to y. So I assume this to be equal to y, and then we solve it normally, and at the end we get the value of x to be as this much. Okay, so let's try another question. Let's try one more question. Next question, let's say, is this one. So over here also, so now if you look carefully, so this is power of 2 and this is 4. So right now it's already in a double form, so it looks like it's already in a general form. If there is nothing in the front, means like if there is a 1, so a is 1. Okay, so over here what we do again is we just write this is x square minus 5x square plus 6 is equal to 0, so that these two are exactly the same. So once I have this, then what we do is we make the assumption. So let x square be equals to y, and then x square is y, means I get y square minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. Then we have a plus 6y square and a minus 5y. So what do we get? We get y square and then minus 2y minus 3y plus 6 is equals to 0. So then we get y minus 2 minus 3 y minus 2 is equals to 0. So then we get y minus 2 y minus 3 is equal to 0. So again we get either y minus 2 is equal to 0 or y minus 3 is equal to 0. So we get two answers. Then we get y is equal to 2 or y is equal to 3. But what have we taken y to be as? We have taken y as x square. So instead of y, we'll put now x square is equal to 2. So x is equal to square root of 2, and square root of 2 means we get both plus minus. So x is equal, sorry, over here we get plus minus root 2. Okay, so because plus root 2 plus into plus root 2 will also give me a plus 2, minus into minus will also give me a plus 2, because plus root 2 into plus root 2 will also give me a plus 2, minus root 2 into minus root 2 will also give me a plus 2. So that's why x is equal to both plus and minus root 2. Okay, similarly we have y is equal to 3 over here. So once I get y is equal to 3 over here, so what is y? Y is x squared is equal to 3. So then x is equals to what? Root 3 means both plus minus root 3. So we get these are the, so over here there was no power of 3, so there was no need for us to cube. Okay, we just have to do a normal sum like this. Is that okay? So once we have this, then the next question. Okay, so let's say the next question is this one. Let's talk about the next question. So let's talk about next question. So next question is something like this. Okay, so it says solve this. So over here also, if you watch carefully, and always when you put them in an order, okay, when you put them in a normal order, so when we had sums like this, when we are putting them in a normal order, okay, so the highest power always has to be in the front. Okay, so if you look over here now, this one I can have to put it in the front because the highest power and then the second highest and then the number. So the highest power x minus x to the power of minus 4 plus 10 x to the power of minus 2 minus 9 is equal to 0. So I'm trying to rearrange them first. So when I rearrange it, I put the highest power, and then when I compare the two of them, just forget about the sign, just look at the power. This is a 2 and this is a 4. So isn't this the double? So that means it's already in a double. So we just have to make sure that I convert this in this form. So when I convert it, I have to write minus 2 inside and then the power 2. So 2 2s are 4 and I get the same thing back. Plus 10 x to the power of minus 2 minus 9 is equal to 0. So this is already in a square form. So all we have to do is we have to just make it in this form. So that these two, they match. Once they match, then I just say let x to the power of minus 2 be equals to y. So I get minus y square plus 10y minus 9 is equal to 0. Then what do I get? The middle term factorization. I think that you can do yourself, or if you want, you can use a calculator also. From your calculator, you can just have to switch on to your quadratic mode, and then you can easily get the factors. Okay, so you get minus y square plus, you get a, let's say 9y and plus 1y minus 9 is equal to 0. And then you get let's say minus y is common, so you get y minus 9 plus 1 is common. Y minus 9 is equal to 0. So one answer is y minus 9 minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So then what do we get? Either y minus 9 is 0, so y is equals to 9, or minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So this will go that side. 1 is equals to y. So we get two answers. But what is y? Y is x to the power of minus 2. So we have to write x to the power of minus 2 is 9. So x to the power of 2 means it's 1 by x square is 9. So when I cross multiply, we get 1 by 9 is equal to x square. Now, x square means root of this. So I'll have to write both plus minus 1 by 3. 3 is equals to x, because root of 9 is 3, root of 1 is 1 only. Okay, so that is equal to plus minus 1 by 3. So similarly, y is equal to 1 over here, but as y is over here minus 2, so I get 1 is equal to 1 by x square. So when I cross multiply, x square will go up and the 1 by 1 will come down, or x is equal to root of 1. Root of 1 is plus minus 1. So we get two answers, that is plus minus 1 by 3 and plus minus 1 by sorry, not 1 by, it's 1. So these questions, a few questions were all like almost, you can say, ready-made. It's just that a little bit here and there we have to do. Okay, but now let's talk about another question. Okay, so let's talk about one more question. So let's say this one. So this also looks like somewhat ready-made. So the first few are a little bit simpler. Okay, so this also like x, and this is already in a double, so all we have to do is write 3x and then write the 2 outside, minus 10 into 3x plus 9 is equals to 0. Okay, and then what we do is, then we say let 3 to the power of x be equal to 0. Then we get what, so not to 0, sorry, y. So we get y square minus 10y plus 9 is equals to 0. So we get y square minus, you can say, 1y minus 9y plus 9 is equal to 0. That's middle term factorization. I think everyone is aware of how you're supposed to get the factors. Y minus 1 is equal to 0. So we get y minus 1, y minus 9 is equal to 0. So we get either y minus 1 is equal to 0 or y minus 9 is equal to 0. So we get y is equal to 1, or you get y is equals to 9. But what is y? Y is 3 to the power of x. So we write 3 to the power of x is equals to 1. So then and now, if I want to find x, now x is the power. Okay, so now if I have the same bases on both sides, then automatically the powers will also be equal. But the problem is, over here the base is 3, over here the base is 1. So then how can I make the base, this side is already 3, how can I make this 1 as 3? So I can write 1 means anything to the power of 0 is equals to 1. Any base to the power of 0 is equal to 1. I could have written 4, 5, 6, any base to the power of 0, but why did I write 3? Because this side is 3, so if I have the bases same, automatically therefore the powers will also be same. So one answer, x is equal to 0. So over here y is equal to 9, y is 3 to the power of x is 9. So over here, how can I make the bases same? I can write 9 as 3 square, and therefore the x is equal to 2y. Because the bases are same, automatically the powers will also be same. Is that okay? So this question. So now let's do a little bit different. Okay, so we try and solve a little bit different question now. So now, till now, the question that we had was that there were single powers, like x to the power of minus 2, like x to the power of 4, or x to the power of 2 by 3, all that stuff and all we had. But now we have a question where we have double power, like something plus something, something minus something. So whenever we have something like this, so first thing is what you do is you need to separate the two powers. Now what do I mean by separate the two powers? Is just write like this: 4, 1, it is into 4 to the power of x. This is also like 4, 1 into 4 to the power of minus a. That's the first thing that you have to do. Separate the powers. Make sure that each base has individual powers. We do not want two powers along for one base, so we just need to separate them. Okay, and once I separate them, so this is for the timing as it is, but this has a minus. So the minus, what we have to do is minus to make it positive. Every time you make the minus, whatever, if I have double bases like means there are double powers like that. First thing you separate. Next step, once you separate, whichever has a negative power, make it positive by taking it down. That's the first thing. Then look over here, there's a plus and there's a fraction, you need to find the LCM. So when I find the LCM is 4 to the power of x is 1. So this becomes 4, 1. This as it is, this 4x will again get multiplied, because when I find the LCM, this automatically comes, and then the rest is this. Plus this becomes 4, 1 is equals to 10. Okay, so then this I can write it as 4, 1 is 4, and then x and x means I get 2x plus 4, 1 is 4, and then this will go that side. It will be 10, 4 to the power of x. Okay, and then now to make it quadratic, I need to bring everything this side, so I bring it this side. So I get 4 to the power of 2x, and I'm just trying to put it in an order. So highest power, second highest, and third highest. So minus 10, 4 to the power of x plus 4 is equal to 0. Now once I get in this form, if you check this and this, Okay, this is x and this is 2x is double, so now it matches, so I just separate them. So I just write 4x and a 2 minus 10. 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, because this is 4x, this also has to be made 4x, so that I can make now the necessary assumption, that is this is equals to y. And then I get what? 4y square minus 10y plus 4 is equals to 0. Okay, and then the factors are 4y square minus 8y minus 2y plus 4 is equal to 0. Then I get 4y, y minus 2 minus 2, y minus 2 is equal to 0. So one is y minus 2, another is 4y minus 2 is equal to 0. So either we get y minus 2 is 0, that is y is equal to 2, or 4y minus 2 is 0, so 4y is equal to 2, y is equal to 2 by 4, that is equals to half. But what is y? Y is 4 to the power of x, so 4 to the power of x is equals to 2. So now again, how do I make them same? This is 2, this is 4. I can write this as 2 square x is equal to 2, and I can write 2 to the power of 2x is equal to 2. Why? We want the same base. There's nothing means the power is 1. So therefore 2x is equal to 1, x is equals to 1 by 2. So first answer is this. And the next answer, y is equal to half. But y is already equal to 4 to the power of x is 1 by 2. So I can write this again 2 to the power of the same thing. 4 to the power of x, I can write it as 2x. I'll write 2x. So when I take it up, I get 2 to the power of minus 1. Why are we taking it up? Because base over here is 2, base over here also needs to be made 2, so that I have the same base, and then I can say the powers are equal. So I get 2x is minus 1, therefore powers are equal since the base is the same. So x is equals to minus r. Okay, so that's how we get the answer. But the first important thing is, if I have a question where we have 2 powers, not 2 powers means something with a plus or a minus in middle, in between, then we try and make sure that the bases are the powers, we have to separate them. Once I separate, then what you do is you need to make sure, if I have after separation any power with a negative, then we just have to make it positive by taking it down. Okay, so let's give you one more example of that kind of a question. Okay, so we have again we have 2 powers, again we have 2 powers. Again what we do is we separate 2x into 2 minus 1 minus 9 into 2x into 2 minus 2 plus 1 is equals to 0. And what we do is, again negative, I need to make it positive by taking it down. Again negative, I need to make it positive by taking it down, plus 1 is equal to 0. So now 2 1 2 2, and now again there is a fraction in between, we have minus and all, so the entire LCM for 1 2 3 of them, 2 square means it's a 4. So this is just a 2 2's are 4, so I get 2 2x, because 2 2's are 4, and then 2 will get multiplied over. Minus 4 1's are, so the same thing comes, plus 4 1's are 4 is equal to 0. So this I can write it as 2 dot 2x minus 9 into 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. This will go cross multiply, 4 0 0. Now if you look over here, the power is x, power is 2x double, so I can write it as 2x and a square minus 9 into 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. So then let 2 to the power of x be equals to y. So therefore I get what? 2y square minus 9y plus 4 is equals to 0. Okay, so then what do I get? The factors 2y square minus 8y minus 1y plus 4 is equal to 0. And then I get 2y, y minus 4 minus 1, y minus 4 is equal to 0. So we get y minus 4, 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. So either you get y minus 4 is 0, y is equal to 4, or 2y minus 1 is equal to 0, y is equals to half. But what is y? Y is 2 to the power of x. So I write 2 to the power of x is equal to 4. So again I need to make the bases same. So I write 2 square. So therefore base is same, power is also same. So x is equal to 2. So over here also I write 2 to the power of x is equals to half, again like the before only. So this will go up, I write 2 to the power of minus 1, x is equals to minus 1. So that's the answer. So that is how we solve this kind of a question, where you may not get a straightforward question. So where you will be getting questions where you may have to go ahead and convert them into your uh, quadratic form, and the quadratic form I already told you it'll be in this form. So the main form is a x to the power of 2n plus b x to the power of n plus c is equal to 0, where the first power will always be double of the second one. Okay, so you have to make sure that you go ahead and solve the question in such a way that you ultimately get in this form. And the moment I get the question in this form, you just have to make sure that you separate the 2 or the square from the other one, and then make sure this and this they match. Once they match, then you just have to make the assumption that this be equal to y, and then you will get a normal quadratic equation. And then you just have to go ahead and solve, means get the factors. Either you do middle term factorization, or you can always use the formulas in case someone feels that you may have trouble using the middle term factorization. Then you can always take the help of this also. X is equals to you can instead of x you can use y is equal minus b plus minus root over b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. You can use this also to go ahead and solve these equations, where anything before your square is your a, anything before your y or your x, that becomes your b, and this becomes your c. Okay, a b c. Okay, and then you can easily go ahead and solve that. Okay, so that's it for the time being. Then if you have any questions, if you feel that there is any confusion and all, so you just have to go ahead and let me know. And then if there are any further examples that I need to go ahead and mention so that it becomes much more clear to you, I will definitely do that for you. Okay, so that's it for the time being. Thank you very much.